Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You call us the do-nothing government, and yet mitigating climate change has been a significant priority for the forest sector for many years alongside the former PC government. The forest industry has reduced their carbon footprint and produced green electricity from biomass. To the Minister, since 1990, Canadian pulp and paper companies have reduced greenhouse gas emissions by 66%. Wow. How much is your carbon tax going to reduce emissions in your term in government?
Minister for Agriculture.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and for the member for the question. The truth is, we can act now or be left behind. This government took the position that we're going to act now. The forestry sector, the member is absolutely right. The forestry sector has taken this seriously. They will continue taking it seriously. From the Forest Products Association of Canada. Canada's forest products industry is part of the solution to the climate change challenge. From the Alberta Forest Products Association, mitigating climate change has been a significant priority for the forest sector for many years. Mr. Speaker, they are doing their part to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and other pollutants, and we're going to continue working with them to find those solutions.
Thank you. First supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that forest companies have invested in renewable and sustainable electricity and have been successfully generating green energy from biomass since long before the government's climate leadership plan, and given that this government is incenting new green energy production, to the Minister, what is your government doing to recognize the green energy production that's already been built because of the forest industry?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and the member for the question. We're reviewing the bioenergy credit program. It was a program that was started by the previous government, had sunsetted. We're reviewing that program, looking to incent the forest industry yet further. It's important to note, Mr. Speaker, that the Canadian corporate executives who urge the federal government in this province to take action on climate change include the Forest Products Association of Canada. We're taking their advice, Mr. Speaker, along with executives from across Canada, continuing with our climate leadership plan. That's the right thing to do.
Second supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given this government's climate leadership plan looks at how much carbon is produced in Alberta, but there are two sides of the equation, and given that a healthy forest is a carbon sink, and investing in the health of forests is the best defense against climate change. To the Minister, why doesn't your climate change leadership plan recognize the carbon sequestration that is amplified by a healthy forest practices by our forest industry?
Honourable Minister. Minister of Environment and Parks.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the honourable member for the question. And of course, this matter of offset protocols is ongoing, Mr. Speaker. We need to make sure that our offset protocols are verifiable, measurable, and reportable, that they conform to what is happening in other jurisdictions, which is exactly why we are doing that, Mr. Speaker. I had the opportunity to meet with the International Emissions Trading Association at the United Nations meetings on climate change when this matter of forestry, agriculture, and waste offset protocols was raised, Mr. Speaker, so we'll have more to say about that in 2017. Thanks to the honourable member for the question.